My name is Tony Mango. For 10 years, I watched the terrible television series Smallville and had only one goal, to see these characters done justice. Now, other shows have happened that are much better, but Season 3 of Arrow wasn't as good as Season 2. It became focused on someone else. It became something else. The Olicity Show. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 12 of the Review Point podcast, coming to you from fanboysanonymous.com. As I mentioned before, I'm your host, Tony Mango, and joining me on the panel, we've got fellow fanboys here, Sean Walker.
I really don't want to do this. Can we skip The Flash?
We will be talking about The Flash. I mentioned in our Gotham one, if you haven't checked that out, we're doing 3 of these in a row tonight, and we're starting off with something before with the Gotham one, which was kind of 50-50. We're going to something a little darker here. Then we're going to end off on a high note with The Flash. But I am also joined by another fellow fanboy, Sam Lassio.
I didn't even watch the finale, and apparently I didn't even have to.
Yes. Now, we are going to give a recap of the finale for Sam here and for you guys as well. But, of course, I need to give you a little bit of a warning. There will be spoilers for not only the finale, but for the entire season. So if you have not seen Season 3 of Arrow, or Season 1 or Season 2 for that matter, and you don't want to be spoiled, go ahead and bookmark this, watch those, binge them, and come back and check us out. Or if you're somebody who doesn't mind being spoiled and you want to know whether or not you should check it out, then you're in for the right treat here, because we're going to tell you no. That's basically what we're going to tell you. And if you're unfamiliar with how Review Point works, it's a pretty simple podcast. We just review a bunch of different aspects of whatever we're targeting, and this week, of course, is going to be a bunch of the different ones. But Arrow's full season of this, not just one episode, is going to be broken down. And if we think it was good, it's a hit. If we think it's a bad, then it was a miss. And we usually, yeah, there are a lot of misses here. We usually break down the majority of what we're talking about with the characters, because it's a lot easier to go through the plot and everything based off of what the characters do than to talk about the entire plot and then break down the characters afterward and stuff. So the majority of this is going to be plot based through the characters, and that's how you'll be able to follow through what we're going to. But before we get into the season in general, let's give you a little quick rundown of how this season ended. Now, you watched the episode before the last one, right, Sam?
Yes, I did.
So that ended us off with Starling City is once again going to be attacked by a big group of people that have some kind of a plan that's going to ruin it all. We've got no idea how they're going to get the virus, and there's no, like, cure to anything and whatever. Yeah, lots of different stuff back and forth. But basically, this is what happens in there. They had already killed off Akio in the episode beforehand, I think, right? Or 2 episodes before?
Yeah, and then Katana killed Maseo.
Right. So we knew that their story was done. Their whole backstory in this whole episode, it was like one scene. And they had cremated Akio and gave 3 little tiny urns. One to Maseo, one to Tatsu, and Tatsu gave one to Oliver because she was like, "You were his friend and he loved you," and he was like, "Ah, goddamn it, I'm pissed off. This kid's dead." So he beats the shit out of the what's his name, Shreve, and Maseo's like, "Oh, he's still alive." Shoots him in the head a couple times. Great. Or no, he shoots him in the stomach. I don't know. He shoots him a couple times, kills him. And Tatsu's like, "Well, you know, you're kind of fucked up. What's up?" And he's like, "I'm going to leave. Adios." She's like, "But, you know, I just lost my kid. You're going to lose, you know, I'm going to lose my fucking husband too." And he's like, "Yup." And leaves. So that was really, like...
God, this sucks.
Yeah. The plane that they fly to Starling City has Nyssa and Oliver and Roz and a couple red shirts. Doesn't matter. A couple mooks.
Yeah.
It turns out that Oliver sabotaged the plane, and what he had expected was that the plane would crash, they would all die, and that would save the city, and that he would die with them. Okay.
Well, wait a minute, but if they're carrying the virus, wouldn't that have cracked the canister open and released it?
Yep. Which is stupid as hell to think about that. But it turns out the way that the virus is going to be distributed is through the blood of the people that are in the League of Assassins that kill themselves or get killed. And they find this out because the one guy slits his skin, kills himself, and once the blood is like airborne, people start dropping dead around him.
Because
they're
Thea
like-
he shot an arrow in that dude's back and becomes fucking Red Arrow. Go fucking down the show.
Oh yeah, Thea does that. Yeah, that's true. Thea is dressed up as Red Arrow, and she just shoots like a couple arrows in the guy's fucking back.
I'd rather her have dressed as Mia Deirdre.
She's got to be speedy. He does say that in this though.
Calls her Speedy.
Yeah, she says I was thinking about going by Red Arrow, and he's like, I already told everybody to call you Speedy, which is like, yeah, because Red Arrow needs to be fucking Roy. That's who he needs to be.
Yeah,
And
god damn it.
I still say Arsenal should have been Diggle. They should have done
Diggle's
that.
becoming the black shuffled bloke. I can't think what
Well,
his name is.
I keep hearing two rumors. One that I don't think they're going to do it, but I see why people are saying it, which is that his middle name is actually Stewart, so he's John Stewart Diggle,
Right.
and that he becomes the Green Lantern, which there's a lot of references to Coast City at the end of this season, I've noticed.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it, but another one is that he's going to end up being Guardian,
That makes
which
more
I
sense.
think, which I think makes more sense for Arrow.
I hope it's somebody different. I mean, we'll talk about Diggle in the line, but so the thing that bothers me about this episode, and this is something that we'll talk about a little bit more too, is there's a lot of like all shit's going down, but we're just gonna laugh, or we're just gonna, like, there's a scene in there that really stands out to me as annoying, where Felicity goes up to Oliver and she's like, well, life sucks and everybody's gonna die and stuff, but here's some coffee. Got you coffee like I said I wouldn't do. And now I'm just giving you the same pep talk that I always will. And essentially the episode boils down to Oliver kills Ra's al Ghul. And
That's disappointing.
Ra's al Ghul gives him the little thing that looks like a little corn cob that's on his finger. That it's supposed to be like, you'll wear this and that'll mean that you're Ra's al Ghul. Like, you know what it kind of reminds me of? The bugles, the little chips.
Oh, okay, and like you wear them on like the end of your fingers.
Yeah, it's basically that. Which is like, that's a really lame way to be like,
How do you wipe your ass though with a ring like that?
right?
Well, I mean, I imagine he takes it off for that. But
Yeah, but it's still like, it's very, very lame. Like, they could have had like a pendant, or they could have had like, I don't know. They gave him a fucking branding tattoo in there, and you're gonna give him like the little, back scratcher. Like, it's really...
you know who really loved that thing? Mrs. Al Ghul.
But it's like, he kills him, and he's like, hey, thanks for killing me, bro, and dies. But it turns out that the plan all along for Malcolm was that Oliver would kill Ra's al Ghul and then give up leadership of the League of Assassins to him. So Malcolm...
Wait, Malcolm wanted that, or Oliver decided to do it?
No, Malcolm was planning this, and they had an agreement. So, like, when everything's, like, they save the city and stuff, he's like, well, as per our agreement, and he hands him a little corncob thing. And, like, the last time that you see Malcolm, he's standing in Nanda Parbat, and Nissa's like, yo, you're a fucking dick. And he's like, yeah, it worked, though, didn't it? And she's like, I'm going to so fucking kill you. And he's like, nah, you won't.
He has the best line in that fucking episode, where
Yeah.
he goes, the best thing about prophecies, they may be true. Or something like that. Because he got cut by Raz's sword, didn't he? And he was like...
Yeah, it was like that kind of thing where it's like semantics. Like, he technically survived the blade of Ra's al Ghul,
Okay.
and she's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And he's like, yeah, you think so, but until then, kneel, you bitch. Like,
So wait, is Oliver like her husband, or did they just ignore that? Or...
they basically
I think-
just
Mary-
ignore it.
I think they got divorced.
Well, there's a line that Felicity throws at the very end, and she's like, well, let's go somewhere where they can get an annulment for Nanda Parbat marriages and stuff. And he's like, yeah, that's true. But it ends, though. It's got Malcolm is the head of the League of Assassins. Oliver and Felicity decide to drive off together because he's not going to be Arrow anymore.
Not for long.
Yeah, that's the whole show. He can't just not be Arrow. And there's no resolution really with Laurel and her father. There's no real resolution with Diggle and Oliver. He basically leaves as I still believe in this kind of stuff, but you're a fucking dick, bro. And he's like, I get it.
But Diggle, wear a mask.
Yeah, he tells him to wear a mask, and he's just kind of like, I guess. Everything's very
They didn't know what they were doing this season.
Yeah, it's this season. Let's backtrack to what we usually do first here. Overall first impressions. This season is a fucking huge miss to me.
You know what? I said this when we were off mic and everything, but really, I really thought they had me sold on the idea that Barry was going to flashpoint everything, and somehow he was going to save his mother, which was going to ruin the timeline, maybe make Oliver evil or something, because they hinted at that early on, which then we ended up getting him as Roz. But then I thought he'd go back and allow his mother to get killed, which would almost New 52 it, where it kind of happened this way, but then they figured it out and everything was fine and they would just fight Roz or something like that. I was almost sold that was how it was going to end, because it was so bad. Season 1 and Season 2, I couldn't stop watching it. I ran through Season 1 on Netflix before Season 2 came out, and I was just pumping through those episodes. I couldn't stop watching it. Season 2 happened, I couldn't wait for next week, and I'd be upset if there was going to be a hiatus. This one, it's alright, I've got 1 episode of The Flash, 2 episodes of Arrow to watch. I think I'm going to watch Flash and go to bed. That's all this was. I was more excited to watch The Flash, and I think the ratings actually show that. I think more people are watching Flash than are watching Arrow now.
Yeah, I thought at first that Flash was going to be a real mistake of a show, and that they were going to run into a situation where they would, how do they pull off the Flash? We'll talk about Flash when it comes down to it, but, I look back at this and I'm like, damn, Flash was good. And Arrow, Season 2 of Arrow was amazing, and much better than Season 1. I think Season 1 had a lot of flaws, but...
It was good potential, which actually, bore fruit in Season 2.
Mm-hmm. And Season 3 was just, a mess. What do you think about that, Sean? Was this a hit or a miss? I'm assuming.
Oh, this was a fucking miss. If this was Batman, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Basically, it was Batman. They really went and did the Batman stuff this time around, didn't they?
They really fucking did. It's so bad. The side story about China or
Hong Kong
or Japan or fucking Singapore or whatever. That was, I think that was the most interesting part.
See, I didn't like that.
Neither did I, but I'm just saying it was the most interesting part of the fucking 3 stories that was going on this series. And what was that bird's name?
Which one?
The Asian lady?
Tatsu.
We in this household, we called her Triangle Face. Because her face is the shape of a triangle.
I thought she was really good as Katana, though.
I liked Tatsu.
Yeah.
I liked Maseo.
She was better as Katana than she was as Tatsu.
Yeah. I liked Tatsu and Maseo. I didn't like Akio at all.
Oh, I don't like Akio.
And that was this kid is clearly dying.
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
the only thing... Oh, sorry. What?
Yeah, I just realized that we're going to group the Yamashiros together when we go to the character breakdown. Fuck it, we'll go out of order. Let's talk about the Yamashiros. Is that where you're going to go?
They are the new characters of the show.
What I was going to say about it was the only thing about Arrow that I was actually kind of bummed out about. I thought that they misfired a little bit, but it still kind of got me a little. when Akio died and she was singing that song to him while he was dying, and then when she kills Maseo, she sings the same song.
Hmm.
That was kind of like like, damn. The one time I actually cared about this character.
I like Maseo. Maseo was one of my favorite characters this season.
I was hoping he'd get a reform. Like I felt like they were leading you to believe the only way he was going to be happy was if he was dead, because he kept it. I think there like 3 times he was allowing Ra's al Ghul to just chop his head off.
Yeah, basically.
Yep.
He'd would just walk up and be like, I fucked up, guess you gotta kill me. And he's like, no. And he's like, God damn it.
Right?
The fuck's
So,
the guy
like-
gotta do to get killed around here? Everybody gets
So, like-
killed every day and I can't die.
Right.
God, I'm not even taking a bath in the fucking Lazarus pit.
It's like Deadpool. Just wants to die.
Speaking of the fucking Lazarus pit, holy shit, did they overdo fake death this season?
What was with Thea jumping out of the water like she was a fucking kangaroo?
Yeah, oh my god.
And they're like, she will forever be changed, and then she's completely back to normal.
One of my biggest flaws in this season, a huge miss, they started Arrow off with Oliver, Sarah, Oliver's dad, and the other people on the boat were dead, according to everybody else, for 5 years. But
Yep.
hey, look at this. Oliver's back. Wow. But he's the only one that survived. Okay. Then it is, wait a minute, Sarah survived. By the way, we've also recast her.
Yeah.
And then it was, Sarah's back, okay. She survived the whole thing too. But then again, Sarah dies. Again. And the whole season is built on the idea of Laurel not being able to tell her father that Sarah's dead as one of the subplots. But not only is Thea somebody that they teased would die, not only did they say that Oliver would die and he came back, not only did Malcolm come back, not only did fucking Danny Brickwell make it to where you could shoot him in the head with a fucking gun and it doesn't matter, but you could shoot him with an arrow and it fucking works. They teased that Roy would die. They teased that, I don't know what the fuck's happening with Wildcat. The end of the season.
I don't even know what happened to him.
I don't even know about Deadshot. Do you reckon Deadshot is dead?
Yeah, they kill off
Deadshot's
Deadshot,
dead.
but
He's
they did it ambiguous enough where they could bring him back. They, at the end of this episode, they make it seem like Ray Palmer is dead, but he's clearly not. But they also fucking bring back Sarah. And it's like, you've got to be kidding me.
Did she come back in this episode, the finale?
No.
No, but she's going to be back at Legends of Tomorrow, which is just like,
Right. And they show her
every-
jumping out of the Lazarus pit.
yeah, and she doesn't
Mhm.
jump out like a kangaroo.
No, she just kind of pops out.
So
She does the sexy arm thing.
Yeah, every fucking character that they said was going to die, or that they teased was going to die, didn't die, including the girl that has died multiple times on the show. The only people that died, fucking Maseo and Akio.
And
And it was
Oliver
like-
Queen's dad and mum.
Yeah. That
He's like
pissed me
Uncle
off.
Ben. He has to stay dead.
But let's go character to the character here. We already talked about the Amish heroes a little bit, and we touched on some of this already. But let's talk with the big gun here, Oliver. Fucking Batman this season,
Completely Batman.
and I love
He
Batman.
even wore black at the end.
I love Batman. He's my favorite character, but Arrow is not Batman.
He is definitely not.
So it's like, if you wanted to do a Batman show, you should have just done a fucking Batman show. Like, they did some
I don't know
things.
about that. Gotham tried to do a Batman show, and they made it a Gordon show.
Was Cupid in season 2, or was she in this one first?
Season 2.
She was in 3. Because remember, wasn't her? Oh no, wait. Yeah, I think she
Yeah.
was in 2 for an episode, and then they brought her into season 3 for the Suicide Squad.
Okay, because like,
No. She was in
It was
season 3
season
because, yeah, season 2 was the whole Deathstroke and Mirakuru.
Oh, right. See, I couldn't
And then
remember if she lost
her
her.
husband died.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was the earthquake machine or Slade that did it.
Slade.
So it's like, I like when they do that kind of stuff. Like, Cupid was a character that I was really looking forward to them doing on the show because she's an interesting character in the Arrow stuff. I mean, having somebody who's basically got a ridiculous crush on the hero and tries to mimic him, and she's a killer and stuff. Awesome.
It's like Harley Quinn for the Joker.
Right. And it's like they could have had more fun with stuff like that this season. And they seemed like they were going in that direction and then went the total opposite direction too. Like, one of my favorite things about this season, one of the only things that I can really pinpoint as like, that was awesome, Boxing Glove Arrow.
Yeah, that was cool.
Major hit for me. And, you know, introducing some different characters like Wildcat and Brickwell and whatever.
The fights with Barry were cool in that first crossover.
Mm-hmm. But Oliver this season, he was fucking Batman more than he was Green Arrow. And that pissed me off. And another thing that drives me nuts about Arrow with the characterization of Oliver, he doesn't learn anything. Like, how many times have we heard him go, oh, I need to be something else. I need to be the Arrow, but I can't be the Arrow and be Oliver at the same time. But I don't want to be Arrow because I'm Oliver. But I can't be Oliver because Oliver doesn't exist. But Oliver isn't the Arrow because he's the Arrow. And it's like, I know you're trying to be, like, complex and you're trying to make it seem like there's this dichotomy that it can't work and all this other kind of stuff. But it's like, other TV shows have done that better.
Yeah.
This season, it was him just bitching and complaining.
And whining and crying and for fuck's sake, just, you know what he needs to do is take one of his arrows and start cutting himself.
Yeah.
At this point,
Make a Tumblr page.
And Victor's ass is like, yeah, it's my thing.
he just sat there slitting his wrists with his arrows. He's like, I don't want to be Oliver Queen no more.
I like Felicity.
I want to be Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Bruce Wayne still has all his money.
They even hinted that Bruce Wayne actually exists in this universe.
With what?
The future newspaper from The Flash, in one of the episodes, talked about the merger of Queen Industries and Wayne Enterprises.
It's a shame that there's not some throwaway line where Ra's al Ghul says, like, you know, I've been looking for a new heir, and this other guy's being a dick, so I'm going to go with you, or something like.
I couldn't go with the detective, so I'll go with you.
Right. Yeah.
And where was his other fucking daughter throughout this entire fucking show?
Yeah, no mention of Talia, no mention of his son either.
And why the fuck is he white?
I wasn't disappointed with that.
It's not a disappointment, it was off-putting. Like, his daughter is, like, Asian of some kind. They're in a place called Nanda Parbat, and all of them have Arabic names, and he looks like he's, like, hopping off the boat from the UK.
Well, to be fair, look at Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Sky's got her Asian mother, and her dad's fucking Kyle MacLachlan.
Yeah, but I mean, she's, like, half and half. The actual
She's also
actress.
gorgeous.
Oh my god, can we just talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was so much better this season than Arrow was.
I didn't even finish it, and I liked it more than Arrow. I haven't seen anything since Sky got her powers.
The biggest problem this season goes to Felicity.
Oh my god.
This is basically Felicity fan fiction now.
Not
And
only
it's-
that, but like Laurel can't, like, all of a sudden she can fight because Nessa trained her like twice.
You know, I like Laurel this season. Like, she was a pain in the ass, and I didn't like her in season 1 and season 2, but in this season, she worked her way back into my good graces. I still think she's not as good as she should be, but they're fucking that character over for Felicity. Like, there's scenes now in episodes, and I hope that they understand that they can't do this and make Laurel seem like she's worth a damn, because it defeats the purpose. But there's that scene where they went to Nanda Parbat a couple episodes before the finale.
Where they banged.
Yeah, that one. Laurel doesn't even get told what's happening. Like, she's not there with them. She doesn't get a goodbye. Nothing. because they needed to shoehorn in another scene of Felicity being like, I don't know if we should go, and I keep wanting you to do the right thing, but every time you do the right thing, I just cry and I get upset because you're doing the fucking heroic thing, and
That really turns me on.
but I can't say it. She was a good character in season 2, but I fucking hate Felicity now.
I liked Felicity in season 1. She was getting on my nerves in season 2. Season 3, I was just there going, please just shoot her.
I want her to
shoot
die
with
so
an arrow.
bad.
When in that scene where Brandon Roth got shot with the arrow, I was like, you cunt. You had to be the hero.
She, fucks over Ray Palmer so much.
And then in the
Ray
last
never did
scene,
anything.
No, Ray's a good
in
guy.
the last scene of the series, I wanted Malcolm Merlin to shoot her.
That would have been great. Man.
You know, it would have been bad guy 101. He would have been back up there ready for next season. Next season would have been so
Yeah,
much
but
awesome.
now they have the Lazarus Pit.
Yeah, and they'll just bring everybody back to life. How do they do that now? How do they get to the point where people don't just keep coming back to life? That's why the Lazarus Pit doesn't work for.
They should have
something like this.
they should have destroyed it at the end of this season.
Right. That would have been a great way to end that, where you can't go back anymore because of this, whatever, and he shouldn't have killed Ra's al Ghul, and Felicity shouldn't have been a pain in the ass for this whole thing.
Well, you know what? Now I'm curious though. Now that Malcolm is Ra's al Ghul, do you think season 4 could show the return of Tommy?
I wish. I don't think it will, but Tommy was my favorite character from season 1.
I mean, fuck, they're bringing
Yeah,
every other
fuck.
character back to life. They may as well bring him back.
I don't like Tommy. He's a moly bitch as well.
Tommy was the man.
See, here's the problem. When Tommy died, too many shows and movies do this with comics, where it's like, okay, oh look, the hero is in a perilous situation. Wonder how he's gonna get out. When Tommy died, I was like, oh my god, everybody except for Oliver is now fair game. They literally just killed off, the second most important character, besides Diggle. And then, no, death isn't important anymore, because comics.
Mm-hmm.
And I am so pissed. I know this is kind of getting into Legends of Tomorrow. I can't stand when story is created to serve the actor. I prefer it when it's they have a story they want to tell, and they don't care who's getting killed off. I hate when they reintroduce fan favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the only reason Sarah is coming back as White Canary is because she was popular. So now they're going to shoehorn her into Legends of Tomorrow. And that just gets on my nerves so bad.
I don't like her because she had that stupid. The chin is too fucking weird to look at.
Butt chin. She is a good-looking girl. She's very fit. She was fun as Sarah. But you know what? Sarah died multiple times.
Sarah's
I don't
not the
like-
one that's important.
Yeah, I don't like Katie Lotz enough to make her we'll make a show for Katie Lotz. Fuck you. You want to work with Katie Lotz again? Cast her as a different character. Make her somebody I don't know, she's involved in a different TV show that you guys are executive producers of or something like that. Don't fucking... Well, now she's the White Canary because we want to do the Black Canary again, but we can't do that because Laurel's the more important one. No, fuck you.
Laurel.
Katie Lotz isn't that fucking important.
Right.
But you know what? That makes me think of another point, though. Getting rid of different characters and stuff. I don't know why they're doing this. If this is just Colton Haynes didn't want to do it or what, but getting rid of Roy Harper. Fuck you. Roy's one of the best characters.
Right.
And
And
love
they made
Roy.
they made a lot of stupid decisions. You could have developed way more about Brick. Brick was literally okay, what should we have Team Arrow do? What can we give them to do while Oliver's doing this or this?
Mhm.
Let's just throw in this character from the comics. He had no purpose. He didn't push the story ahead any. And he was basically just filler material while they developed more about the League of Assassins.
And he could have been a really good villain for half a season.
Right, he could have been either half the season villain up until the mid-season finale, which they really misfired with, or he could have been a puppet of Ra's. Roz could have been paying him to ruin the city, to like get at Oliver or make him become Ra's al Ghul. Whatever they wanted to do, fine. They literally just threw it away.
What do you think about Brickwell, Sean?
Brickwell. Which
Danny
one's
Brickwell,
Brickwell?
the guy who he had like really tough skin. When they shot him with a gun, it didn't do anything to him, but when they shot him with arrows, it pierced his skin and he got all pissed off for some reason. He was the one that beat the shit out of Wildcat, and then they acted like Wildcat doesn't exist anymore.
Can't remember it.
The fact that he doesn't remember shows
Right.
how useless it is.
Fucking Wildcat, though. I'm okay with them saying he's younger. Okay. I would have rather had him be older, especially because the relationship between Black Canary and Wildcat in the comics is like father and daughter. And what's the season story for Laurel? That she has this disconnect with her father. Why not make it to where Wildcat is like the replacement father figure? There you
Instead,
go.
they hire some hunk.
Yeah, they go the CW route, and they're like, let's get this good-looking dude that she can kind of flirt with. And then once he gets his face punched a bunch of times, we never hear from him again. Nobody ever says, we're checking up on fucking Ted. It's just like, yo, Ted, can you, like, get your ass kicked for me? Yeah? Okay, thanks, buddy. Adios. Did not like that at all.
No.
But Laurel, I thought was better this season.
I didn't
I'd give her a
understand
hit.
why they needed to like give her like all those fucking zippers on her suit. She reminded me of Catwoman from the old Tim Burton movies.
It's better than reminding you of the Gimp from Pulp Fiction. Bring out the Gimp. But Laurel's asleep.
I like the fact that they integrated Cisco into it so she could have the canary scream.
Yeah, that was good. The Canary Cry.
Yeah. Good. So they didn't have to make her a metahuman. It could have been something like that, and I'm glad Cisco was the one to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a definite high point. That was a hit for me. And I like how Cisco had a crush on her because she's hot.
Yeah.
So he's just kind of like, this is bitch.
Oh, and I would have done the exact same thing he did. Like, yeah, I'll do this. Can I get a picture with you?
Yeah. What do you guys think of Diggle this season?
A whiny little bitch.
Because
Yeah,
of the
he
family thing?
A lot. Well, he was really good. Then he was okay. And then I'm glad he kind of took over when Oliver was dead. Well, quotes around dead. But when he came back, like, all he did was bitch. That's all he did. He just bitched the entire time.
When season 1 was going on, I was like, Diggle's a guy that they're going to kill off. He's going to die in season 3, season 4. And now I'm like, well, they can't kill Diggle off. He's too badass.
I
like
think they
Diggle.
could do the Green Arrow, Green Lantern route with Diggle. I'd
Nah,
be down
they're-
for it. I like Jon Stewart.
I've never been a big fan of Jon Stewart. I
Well,
like Jon Stewart better than Guy Gardner, though.
You know why I don't think so much that they're going to do Jon Stewart now? Because I think they actually already hinted to Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did that on Flash
Flash.
a little bit, too.
Right. Because they said the test pilot witnessing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, Jon Stewart, yeah, okay. It's not like Barry Allen, Wally West, where, like, he takes over the mantle. Anybody could be the Green Lantern. It's basically just a galactic police force. But the fact that Jon Stewart came after Hal Jordan, you could switch up the order, but I feel like if they were going to do it, they would just do Hal Jordan.
Yeah, I hope that they go with Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan's the Green Lantern. Like, I like Kyle. I like John to an extent. But John doesn't have much of a personality on his own. Like, he's just kind of like gruff Green Lantern guy.
He's, what was he, Marines?
I think so.
He's just a ex-Marine, tough guy, Green Lantern.
And you can't do Kyle because Kyle's dependent on the other Green Lanterns being, like, shit. And him having to come in and save the day. Hal is the one that has, like, the most personality.
I doubt they're going to do Simon Paz.
No, they're not gonna. They're not gonna do like Jade or fucking. what's his name, Alan Scott or something like that. You know what I mean? Let's see here. We've got Thea, and we might as well throw this character in there too. I love how people have referred to him as DJ Al Ghul.
I miss that guy.
That guy was a fucking douche. I hated that character so much.
And it made no sense that he was like some kind of Ra's al Ghul spy.
Oh, I thought you were going to say how he was like charming as all hell. Like, he looked creepy as shit, and she was just kind of like, yeah, I guess we'll fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that dude, if he went up to somebody like Thea and was trying to spit game at her, she'd be like, get the fuck away from me. The fuck are you? I'm wearing a bunch of shirts that show off my belly button this season. You're not good enough for me.
The power of DJ, though, isn't it? The power of music.
Yeah. Although, I gotta
Maybe
say,
want to learn how to become a DJ.
I liked Thea a lot better this season. Even though she still is running into the same problem where she is, like, an idiot. Like, I think half of her lines are her going, I don't understand.
She doesn't even say that. She's like, I don't understand.
And you're like, just sit in the fucking corner and listen. Like, but Thea is better this season than the other seasons, I think. So I guess I'll give her a hit. You know,
I preferred her in season 1, where she
was
didn't
just like
have hardly any airtime.
where she was speedy on speed all the time.
Yep.
I
Good
do
old
like how
Felicity.
they've made her character a combination of a couple things, though. Because if they would have gone with the actual Mia Dearden instead of, like, Thea Dearden Queen, and then a good part of the season was when she was still with Malcolm, and she was using the name Mia. I like that. It was like, alright, you guys know what you're doing when it comes to that, but what the fuck's happening with Wildcat and shit? Like, but I liked how she trained enough where I could buy into her being able to do what she does.
Yeah.
You know, it's been months. That makes sense. A little bit more sense than Laurel. But what did you guys say about Thea? She hit or a miss?
All things being said, I'd put her in the hit category, actually. I would have preferred if she had been killed, but I'm glad she's going to finally be speedy as she should be.
I've never liked Thea, so I'm gonna say miss. Though she's a very attractive young lady.
To call back to the joke I made in Gotham, I'd hit that.
I'd hit that, yeah.
Another one of the women that we have here, Nyssa Al Ghul. A lot better this season than last one, I think. They gave her more of a character, but again, too many characters on here just bitch and complain all the time. I know that kind of sounds the same as what this podcast is, but there's a different story between complaining in a review and complaining because everything about your life is something that you should complain about. And Nyssa, at least she had some justification to bitch about some of the things. Like, yeah, of course she doesn't want to get married to Oliver. She's a lesbian. And,
Right.
you know, that ain't cool. Like, that kind of thing. But
Smash the patriarchy.
I gotta say, like, my favorite thing about Nyssa this season was the one scene with her and Laurel eating the fucking burgers. It was like, she was like, oh, I can dip french fries in milkshakes, and this is pretty fucking sweet. I don't think I want to be a killer anymore. Like,
Right.
I was like, man, I really want a burger now, and some french fries, and a milkshake. And Nyssa. And
You know
Laurel.
what? I almost expected Laurel and Nessa to start dating.
So many people did. That's funny.
That's
I
not
didn't
even
catch that.
right, that's not even me just saying like fan fiction, like a Olicity kind of a thing. I just thought that's the direction it started to head in.
Fuck it. I make a fan fiction and it will happen then. Like this fucking Olicity shit bullshit. Fuck this shit.
You can tell that, what's his name, Guggenheim, Mark Guggenheim, that he's listening to the Olicity fans.
Oh my god, too much.
Yep.
He runs a Tumblr account, I think it is, and he answers like Q&A kind of stuff every once in a while. And anytime that somebody bitches about Olicity, he seems to get like really upset about it. Like, people will be like, yo, enough with the fucking Olicity shit. And he'll be like, well, I don't fucking listen to you guys. And then it's like, somebody else will be like, I love that Felicity and Oliver got together. This is my fantasy because I'm kind of a nerdy girl and I like the hot brooding guy and I want him to be nice and want him to date me too. And the response will be like, thanks. I love how you guys love the show. Like,
Sad thing is, my mum and my sister are part of this Olicity fan fucking club.
for the same reason, the whole like the nerdy
The
klutzy
nerdy
girl
the
gets the
nerdy girl
brooding,
gets the
handsome
guy.
dude.
Yeah,
Fucking stupid.
fucking A is fucking stupid. It's fucking bullshit.
And you know what? The people that'll complain and say that's because you're guys, and of course you're saying that. No, let me clear something up here. It's equally as stupid to do a story of the nerdy guy that gets the hot chick.
Yeah, fucking Big Bang Theory. What the fuck is that bullshit?
Yeah. You know, like that, She's Out of My League, that movie. There were some funny parts in it, but it was like, I don't need to watch a whole movie about Jay Baruchel saying, Alice Eve's too hot for me, and I'm kind of a klutz, and she's gorgeous. Yeah, I get it. And she would never date you.
Right.
So it's not a misogynist thing where, you know, oh, well, she's not the super, super hot chick. She is hot, so
Right.
ignore that. But
If they really wanted Felicity to look the way she should look, they would have gotten probably more of a girl next door kind of look,
right.
rather than like when she's dressed up, she's a knockout. She's not a supermodel, but like she's definitely a head turner.
Oh, when she's got her contacts in and her fucking hair down and she's wearing that blue fucking hot dress.
I mean, shit, I'd fuck her mom. So
What's that, that
you know what?
actress that's really popular right now, that really fat girl that's in comedies?
Rebel Wilson.
Rebel Wilson, yeah. Like, if they really wanted this to pitch to the audience that a lot of this probably applies to, they'd make Felicity look like her. And it's like, yeah, he would never fuck her. He'd have to be under some kind of wicked-ass mind control and to be able to do that. No fucking
God.
way. Like, you know, I'm sorry. Like, it's fine to have your little fantasies. And, of course, even the idea of, like, Arrow in general is a fantasy. It's, you know, a lot of the boys watching the show and stuff, they want to look at the superheroes and they want to act like, you know, that'd be kind of cool if I could do that kind of shit and stuff like that. Yeah. But you shouldn't dictate a show based off of shippers.
Right.
And that's what they're doing here. Because you know what? If you wanted to base it off of shippers, there were a ton of people in season 1 that wanted fucking Oliver and Tommy to get together. And I didn't see a single thing coming up from the show then where it was like, you know, them about to fucking make out and stuff.
Yeah.
But
You know what? Fan theory. I'm wondering, like, where do you go in season 4? Like, we've done Ra's al Ghul, we have Malcolm Merlin, we've done Slade Wilson. Like, I'm trying to think how many more prominent villains there are, because they've already done Brother Blood. You even threw Brickwell in there. Like, and I was trying to think, you know who they've kind of hinted at, but have never, like, it's almost like they're saving it? Felicity's father.
I'm assuming that Damien Dark is her father.
I'm not sure who her father would be. Obviously, he has to be a genius.
The toy maker.
Who did you think he was, Tony?
Damien Dark, the guy who they were building up a little bit with Ra's al Ghul.
I may have missed that.
He's the one who was like a partner of Ra's al Ghul's, and in this final episode, they try to make it seem like Ra's al Ghul probably would have wanted to target Starling because Damien Dark was in there at the time.
Okay.
What I'm hearing is that Hive is going to be the major villains the next season, and they did mention that Damien Dark is involved in that. And the way that Felicity is becoming the main fucking character of the show, I'm just buying into the idea that he went off and he started Hive, and it's the entire next season is going to be about Felicity being like, my dad is a villain and I don't like it. And
She doesn't know who her dad is, though, does she?
Yeah, she does.
she does,
I mean, he walked out on them when she was young.
right.
So obviously he's a dick.
Do you
I
know
wouldn't-
who else was a dick? Whoever casted Amanda Waller. That
Because
drives me
she's like,
insane.
Like a
she's
stick
too
figure.
thin. Yeah.
Too attractive.
Isn't Amanda supposed to be a heavier set woman?
Smallville's Amanda Waller fucking was on point.
Pam Grier.
Yeah.
And even using the ones in the movies, Viola Davis, like she makes sense.
Yeah.
And who was the other one? The one in Green Lantern.
I never saw Green Lantern. I didn't.
Angela Bassett. Like, okay, I'll buy into her being the Wall. She's a badass. But this one, it's like she's like a model. Like, I'm not intimidated by the Wall, Amanda Waller. Like, she's the stick figure. Like,
I don't mind her being thin in the flashbacks, like, but she could eat some donuts in between those 5 years.
it'd be different if I would have thought that a good person, if they wanted to go like a thinner, more attractive route, they could have gone with Paula Patton. Because she's got like muscle behind her. She could kick ass. Like, she was in Mission Impossible 4, I think it was, Ghost Protocol. And I can buy into her kicking somebody's ass. The one who plays her on Arrow, nah. She's a bitch, sure, but she's not this like amazing Amanda Waller kind of character.
She just reminds me of one of these popular girls at school that you just want to fucking headbutt. Because it's all about me, me, me.
What do you guys think of Ray Palmer this season, though? I thought Ray
I love him.
was...
I love
great.
Ray.
I thought he was great in every way except for the suit. He's Iron Man.
Yeah, but how else are you going to do the Atom?
I would have rather...
Too fantastical.
At this point, it's a shame that they said they wanted to originally do Ted Kord, and they wouldn't let him do them. So they said, "Do you want to do Ray Palmer instead?" And they were like, "Oh, great!" But you can tell that they still kept Ted Kord in mind because they were, instead of Palmer Industries, you go with Kord's business. And
yeah, but I probably would have preferred. I don't really like Blue Beetle all that much, unless it's like the kid who's got like the alien like tech on him.
See, that's why I think it makes sense that, it doesn't make sense for Adam to have this suit, but Ted Kord it would have. If he would have gone with a Blue Beetle suit where you can do the Iron Man kind of thing, totally fine for that,
Yeah, but now he can shrink, though.
He will in. Did he shrink in the finale?
Nah,
Nope,
but the
he's
preview
golden
for
blue.
that. In the finale, all he did was he tinkered around with the nanotech and saved the city. And Felicity didn't even fucking thank him. It was like,
Well, I know in the last episode I saw, he said that he was like, she's like, "Why are you still working on the suit?" And he's like, "Oh, I got this idea that I'm just working on." I figured that was the shrinking aspect.
Kinda.
Okay.
But there's a really, really bad part in the finale where Felicity is arguing with him, "You need to go save Oliver." And he's like, "I'm working on the thing that's going to save the city." And she's like, "Yeah, but it's Oliver." And he's like, "No, fuck you." He's like, "That's one guy compared to an entire city. You go fucking save his ass, and I'm going to go save the city." And it's like, goddamn right, Ray.
Insert Spock quote.
Needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one.
Damn right. Ray Palmer was one of my favorite characters this season. He got fucked over bad.
He needs his own show.
He's already got one.
Hi,
Like
I'm Ray.
his wife or girlfriend got murdered in front of him, and he couldn't do anything to stop it. Then he falls in love with the first girl after that, and then she just leaves him for some other guy.
She's like, "But he's cute."
He's deep and he's emotional.
Yeah. He's dark and brooding, and I think I can change him.
It's like a fucking high school relationship.
That's basically what it was this season. It was awful. And everybody went so far into that kind of soap opera thing. Like Captain Lance this season, I'm mad at you because you lied to me. I'm not mad at the fact that fucking Sarah's dead. I'm mad because you didn't tell me.
Right.
And I'm just going to be mad at you forever because I only have one daughter left, but I'll push her away and stuff.
You know what? At what point does people in these shows not just sit back and go, "You know what? You lied about it. I really don't appreciate that. And I know you think you were helping, so I get it. Can we move on from it?"
The
Instead,
only time,
it's you lied, and now I hate you.
The only time that happened this season, and I'll commend them for doing it that time, is that they didn't waste a bunch of episodes on Laurel forgiving Thea.
Yeah.
Like, Thea, she's brainwashed, she killed Sarah, and she goes up to Laurel and she's saying, I'm really, really sorry, and I think that you should, kill me and whatever. And Laurel's like, that sucks, but it wasn't your fault. I get it. And I was like, thank God we don't have to waste 5 episodes on her being like, I don't know if I could trust you anymore, Thea. And
I'm gonna go hit the sauce.
yeah, she didn't need to be a fucking alcoholic either. That's ridiculous. They should have done that from the very beginning.
Thea should have been the alcoholic drug addict, like she was in the beginning.
There's one great line though, and this was like good enough to justify anything that happened with Quentin Lance this season. In the finale, he goes, "The city's under attack. Must be May." And it's like, now you're just talking to the audience.
Yeah.
Well, it's at the end of the season. There goes the fucking city. But
you know what? That's a fourth wall break I can appreciate.
right. And it's a shame that they didn't do more of that, where like they didn't have the Diggle turn to the camera and go, "Guys, sorry about the Felicity shit, but next season we'll try to back down on it."
Next season, I'll be Green Lantern. Stay tuned.
You know what the series has had? It's third series syndrome. Every show has it. Like, the first 2 series are fucking phenomenal, and then
It's like they're out of material.
third, fourth, and fifth series suck, and then they pick it back up in 6th.
I don't know if Arrow would survive.
To 6th season?
Do you think? Well, if what he's saying, like first and second are good, third, fourth, and fifth are bad. Like, if you think the third, fourth, and fifth seasons lag, do you think they would even renew it?
I think the fan base is there.
It's tough.
I mean, Amel is completely likable.
Yeah.
So, like, he
kicks
could bring
ass.
him back.
And he's a good fucking person, too. Like,
Oh,
He's
yeah.
great on Facebook.
the shit that he does for people, like, little kids having birthday parties and he sends them messages and stuff. Like, he's a good dude. I'm really glad that they had that guy on board.
Right.
His t-shirts for cancer, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I wanted to buy one of those shirts.
Supposedly, Katie Cassidy's a bitch, though.
Oh yeah, she was a bitch on Supernatural when she was working.
I can see it in her face. Like, she has, like, resting bitch face.
That's true.
She's supposed to be really hard to work with, and that's why they recast her on Supernatural.
Maybe that's why they don't have as much Laurel stuff. Like,
They're
maybe,
just, like, sick of it.
yeah, maybe being around her got them to want to do the Felicity stuff instead. But then it's like, then you know what? Recast her. You recast Sarah.
Right.
Yeah, but it's a bit too late now, isn't it? Sarah was in, what, 1 episode?
1 or 2. She was in 1 and then, like, a couple flashbacks.
I don't know. To me, and then maybe I'm in the minority here. I'm fine with recasting if you recast like for the better if you have to, and if a TV show would have to do it, I'd be fine with them doing something where like at the beginning of the season, like we're at a different era when it comes to social media and stuff. Like people that watch TV shows don't watch TV shows the same way that they used to, and when they recast, say, the dude from I Dream of Jeannie, I think it was. Or they went like Dick Sargent and Dick whatever. It was 2 different dicks. Bunch of dicks. They recast them and they got somebody who looked very similar and they just kind of acted like nothing happened. I'm fine with them doing that, and just like at the beginning, if they were to recast, of course they're not going to, but if they were going to recast her for season 4, at the very beginning of it, just have the producers come out like they did at the end of The Flash, where they said, "Hi, I'm Greg Berlanti and I'm whatever, and we had fun this season. Next season's going to be even better. Stay tuned, guys." Just at the beginning of season 4, just go, "Hey guys, wanted to let you know we recast Laurel is going to be played by this person now, and if there's any continuity errors that go with that, sorry, we can't unchange that, but from now on, the characters will act like it's the same person and stuff. We hope that you guys are willing to accept the change too."
I
And
tell
I'm
you
like,
who looks
you know
like
what?
Natalie Cassidy. A
Who?
spitting image is Samantha the Saint.
It's sad that I know that name.
She does though, doesn't she? They
I
got the
can't
same- the
remember
same
for
bone
sure.
structure.
Let me Google what she looks like, because I can't remember for sure what she looks like, which I save some credibility that way.
I'm just sitting here not knowing what anyone's talking about.
Yeah, now that I'm Googling her, she does look enough like her. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. But she's probably a terrible actress because she does porn, and that's bad. But let's see who else we have here character-wise. We talked about the Yamashiros. We talked about... Oh, shit, we're missing a huge one here. Fucking Flash.
Well, I thought we would just talk about him.
Yeah, I thought we were going to talk
Yeah,
about that when we
well-
get to it.
We'll talk about him, obviously on the Flash more than, like, digging into the character and stuff, but his use in the crossovers here. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, I loved him in the crossovers.
I loved him in the crossovers. In the final episode, he was pretty good. He was only in
One
it
of
for
my-
like 2 minutes, but it was still a breath of fresh air.
That was a stupid thing, though, where he saves them, and they're like, we could really use your help, and he's like, nah, I gotta do some other shit.
I gotta talk to West. Kill my mum. Good luck with saving your city, though. Bye.
Oh God, I wasn't prepared for the near man tears.
Oh, man. Wait, yeah, we're gonna...
we're
that was
going to
tough
talk
get
about that
through.
in the next episode.
One of my favorite things, though, about this crossover thing, I do like the running gag that Diggle is freaked out by him. Like, he does it again in this one when he travels across the fucking country to go to, or across the globe to go to Nanda Parbat to unlock a door. And then he's like, gotta talk to Harrison Wells. See you guys. Can't help fight anybody. Even though I could beat the shit out of everybody in the fucking league in a second.
Well, that's like season 2 of Heroes. Like Peter Petrelli and Hiro Nakamura were like given bullshit things to do because it's like any villain they would have, they could have just taken care of.
To be
Right.
fair, though, they did ask, where's all the league members? He's like, oh, they're all napping.
Right. But I like when he speeds away and Diggle's like, I'm never getting used to that. But I like the use of the crossover thing. I'm very glad that they announced that the crossovers are going to stick. They're going to do one of them each season.
Yeah.
So, very, very happy about that. What do you guys think about Slade and Count Vertigo coming back? They really were only in for a little bit, but
Wait, was that
Yeah.
the finale or was that just period?
no, just
That was-
throughout season 3.
Well, I don't like that there's a new Count Vertigo. Like, I'm so used to the other guy who was like almost like the Joker. He was so fucking batshit. But the new
You
guy,
don't like John Abruzzi from Prison Break?
I don't even know what Prison Break is.
Dude.
So there's that. But I love the episode on Lian Yu with Slade. I thought that was really cool.
That's the best fucking episode of the season.
Down point of that, though, Thea is able to break out because they didn't compensate for somebody being able to reach over to shut the fucking press the button.
Women
Well, they
are
did
awesome.
have to like break her shoulder, or, like pop it out or something.
Yeah, but that was way too close. Like, that button should be across the fucking room.
Yeah, granted. Like if there was like a fucking 7-foot person in there, they could just.
Right, like, and these are like metahumans and stuff you want to trap there? Fuck you. That's not going to be an issue. Like, you think that the dude that turns into fucking gas is going to be able to get locked up in a thing that Thea could get through? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that was disappointing, but I do love Slade. Slade's fucking awesome.
Hey kid. Basically him in every appearance.
So
Yes. That is true. He does say that a lot.
Oliver could be fucking 50. You'd be like, hey, kid, long time no
he
see.
needs to be back in season 4.
I'd like to see him come back and be... they're not going to do it, I'm sure, because of the movie, but have him be like one of the leaders of the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Make them be like, look, we got rid of the, your, I guess you could say like your war crimes or whatever he would be from before. You work for us now, don't kill Oliver.
Does he,
I feel like
he still
Slade's
have the
too-
Mirakuru or no?
Nah, he got
No,
rid of that.
but he's still like a fucking master assassin.
And he could dance. You ever see that gif?
Nope.
There's like some deleted like behind the scenes footage of him dancing or something in the full Deathstroke costume. That's funny though. But what do you guys think about some of the things that were special this season? Like that they changed the title card and it had the arrow that ended up becoming the branding symbol
Fucking
later on.
stupid.
I thought that was actually kind of cool.
My favorite part was when they changed it to the Cupid arrow.
My favorite part was when they switched it back to the original arrow.
When did they do that?
Halfway through the season. I can't remember what episode it was. I think it was when Oliver was on the island.
Huh.
I didn't even notice.
Back when he was like saying that he was on the Starling City. Back when he broke Thea's drug dealer's neck.
Oh, that was badass. That was cool.
I think it was that episode.
And then it's the same episode with drunk Quentin Lance. He's kind of like, I don't want to do this shit anymore. Like, fuck you people. My daughter's dead, but she'll come back, and then she'll die again, and then she'll come back again, and I'm losing track how many times she's fucking dying. But I like beer. Beer's cool. Give me my gun. Like, you know? He's fucking awesome like that.
You know, I think they're really like losing stuff to do with these flashbacks. Like the flashbacks in the first 2 seasons were really cool, and like I looked forward to what they were doing. This one, it was just like, oh fuck, a flashback. Like I did not care about anything that happened, and I really was like, this isn't even like, I think they attempted it as foreshadowing, but it was almost just like shoehorned in there. Was when Oliver killed that kid at the party. Like, okay, Oliver somehow came back, and he was somehow seeing all of his friends, but just no one noticed. And then the one guy that did notice, he killed him. And like Masaya was like, "What are you gonna wear? Like grease paint?"
Oh yeah, that was a cringeworthy line.
Like, why would you say grease paint? Like mask, something, hood.
Because he doesn't know English.
Apparently, he knows grease paint. I didn't even know grease paint. I don't know grease paint.
I hate it when they do that. One of my least favorite parts about X-Men First Class is how there's 2 jokes about him being bald.
Yeah.
Oh, next thing you know, I'm gonna lose all my hair and shit, right? Ha 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 ha.
Oh, actually, back to that episode when he breaks into his own fucking building. When alarms go off, like down like the server room that Oliver Queen's logged into his fucking password. I'm just saying.
And then
Wait,
like
no,
somebody.
no, didn't they say like there was a reason for that? Like,
Oh yeah, that's true. It was something like he had some kind of like a bypass or some shit. I can't
right,
remember what it
or
was.
like his password like wouldn't have popped up on security because they like deleted it.
Yeah,
But they still kept it on file because they didn't want to lose like the
And
son's
even then,
memory or
Felicity
something like that.
still ruined that fucking flashback.
Yeah, they
Oh,
still had to.
so
They still had to
cute.
throw Felicity in there, who had no reason to be there because she was fucking IT.
right. And she's just like, look at this picture of this hot guy. Wish we could bang later, but I'm not gonna go to Nanda Parbat for a while.
Right.
I did like in that episode though that Tommy came back and he was berating Thea for being a drug addict. That was like one of my favorite scenes.
I did like that.
Did you like?
He's
The,
like, "Yo, I'm Tommy. I'm fucking awesome."
did you like the episode where Oliver Queen kidnapped Tommy and he's like, "You ever come back to fucking China? I'm gonna fucking kill you, motherfucker."
That
He didn't say it like that, but like, you know, turn him to a chair.
That
Let him
was
piss
cool.
himself.
I do like that they're showing him like by the end of the flashbacks for Hong Kong, he's able to fight.
yeah.
So it's like, all right, now I'm assuming that Russia is the next one because he's got to do something with the Russians. And you know, why not?
Here's one thing I don't understand though. Nothing in season 3 has told me that like 2 or 3 years after that takes place, he should be speaking perfect Chinese.
That's true. Maybe he took like Rosetta Stone on the flight back to Starling
Because
City.
like he was so good that there was a time in season 1 where he was like fighting like the Chinese triad, and he spoke Chinese to a guy who was like blinded. And when this other Chinese guy ran in and they're talking to each other, he goes, "What did he look like?" He says, "I couldn't see him, but he spoke perfect Chinese, obviously a national." So they weren't thinking of looking for a white guy.
Hmm.
So it's like, you don't just pick that shit up if you have no idea about the language. Like, yeah, you can pick it up by living there for a long enough time, but he was there for less than a year, it looked like, and he wasn't learning Chinese. He was just like talking English to everybody.
And letting his hair grow out.
Right.
And I think in Hong Kong they speak Mandarin.
Mandarin what? Chinese.
I don't fucking know. It's just 4 o'clock in the morning.
Maybe this is like Marvel. He doesn't speak the real Mandarin.
Yeah.
I'll pat myself in the back for that one.
But then the real language will come up at the end because everybody got really pissed.
And he's been annoyed that you've been speaking his language. So, music isn't really anything that's changed this season. I've always liked the music for this. You guys ever?
I did like that little in the title now. There's always that little Middle Eastern twinge
Yeah,
at the end. Right. That's basically it. It's like, all right, I get it.
I like the end credits. Dun, 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 dun.
What do you guys think of the action this season and special effects?
It was action.
I gotta say, the one thing that ended up really taking me out, and I actually paused it because I was laughing so hard because it was ridiculous. That one fucking the one episode where he shoots an arrow into the sky. It doesn't hit anything, and then he just fucking flies away.
Yeah.
It's like, the hell did he attach to? He shot it in between buildings,
Well,
just to the fucking moon.
It's the Spider-Man logic, where he
Right.
just shoots his hand up into the air and it just attaches to something.
That was really bad, that
The
thing.
one that, this might not be bad to other people, but since I have a background in science and stuff, I always tend to see, obviously this is all fantasy stuff. I got into an argument with Eddie one time on one of these podcasts. Because I said,
no, it's not fantasy. Felicity can totally get with Oliver.
but, I always look for things that's like, oh, I love that. That actually could happen, and they included it. Those are just things I appreciate, having a scientific background. Why, when he was, when they were going after the triad for the Alpha and Omega, he used, a metal drink tray as a fucking bulletproof shield? Do you remember that?
I don't remember that, but it sounds like something that would happen.
He picked up a drink tray at a Chinese club, and he starts using it as a bulletproof shield. And it's no, they should be shooting through that. He's dead.
You don't know how strong those trays are, though. That club, see, that's their gimmick. Their trays are made out of fucking Kevlar and shit.
Man, it's fucking adamantium. I don't even care if it's not marble. Still
It's
adamantium.
club vibranium.
Isn't there a mystical metal in DC?
Promethium, maybe?
Maybe.
That sounds familiar. Let me double check that. I think
No
Promethium
idea.
might be on. I know Prometheus is a character.
Promethium is an actual element.
Yeah, Promethium.
But I think they
And-
use it as a fictional element.
And if you would constitute it the nth metal from Thanagar.
Okay.
But Promethium is kind of like the version of adamantium, sort of. Which
is-
adamantium is so much better of a name.
Which is really funny because there actually is a real element called promethium that doesn't do any of that shit.
Well, look at the other shit that DC does. Kryptonite.
Well, even though we have krypton as an element, there is no substance called kryptonite.
I know, but it's like they
This
couldn't have
is
gone
like
with
them being
something else.
this is a gas that gives you superpowers. It's called hydrogen. It's okay.
Hydrogenite.
Right.
So, what do you guys say for the recap here? What's your, I guess you could say, your biggest hit and your biggest miss from season 3?
I would say my biggest hit probably would be Ray. I know that's kind of weird, but I really enjoyed Ray's character. And when I saw him pop up in an episode, I was completely happy. I never thought he was forced. I never thought he was shoehorned in. It always just felt like the story needed him. My biggest problem actually is the finale that I did not see. I looked it up, doing a screen cap while we were all talking here. And are they literally saying that the reason why Team Arrow survived is because Malcolm and Oliver secretly inoculated them.
Yep.
Mhm.
Isn't that kind of Deus Ex Machina?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, that
And Malcolm did it without the other people knowing. He put something on their skin.
that's not how vaccines work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And none of them got autism. Oh, God.
What about-
I'm gonna get a comment for that one.
What about you, Sean? What's the biggest hit and the biggest miss for the season?
Biggest hits. Biggest hits. Roy. Even though he's no longer in it. Roy. Only reason why I come back to watch it was because of Roy. I miss Roy.
I wish I could give that my biggest hit because he kicked ass, and then they got rid of him. So it's like
Yeah, his kicks in fucking prison, dude.
the flips that he would do this season.
That was a great scene. My miss. Anything to do with Oliver and Felicity. Anything to do with Oliver and Diggle. Anything to do with Laurel and Diggle. Anything to do with Laurel and Felicity. Especially that one episode where they thought Oliver was dead. Fuck me. He's dead. I can't move on with my life.
I didn't even get a chance to fuck him.
Well, Laurel did.
Yeah, Laurel's like, did that a bunch of times. Gave him to my sister for a little bit too. I gotta say, man, there's so many misses here. I could put down just all the fake deaths, all the idea behind Sarah coming back is a huge fucking miss for me. DJ Al Ghul is a miss.
That's just such. I'm so gonna change my Facebook name to that.
I feel like there's so many other characters we're not thinking of because like they won
Oh,
off
Triangle
so many-
Face. Triangle Face was a fucking hit. She was a hit in this episode, anyways.
She was a hit and you'd hit
Yeah, but you know who I didn't like? Rhombus Face.
it. Trapezoid face.
Yeah. Dodecahedron Face. Big miss, though, Olicity. Gag me with a spoon. I'm fucking tired of it.
She needs the
Biggest-
belly.
Biggest hit, though? I have to say Malcolm. Malcolm's a dick.
I always hated though the like, but I love my daughter. But I love my daughter.
Yeah, that was really
I love
tiresome
my
to hear
daughter.
that. You might be mad at me, but I love you, Thea.
I'm doing this for you, Thea.
And she's like, but I don't understand. He's like, you don't understand shit, Thea. Just
You
give
get
me
that
my
with your
fucking
mother's
sword.
side.
You don't even understand that you're wearing half of a t-shirt, but I'm down with that. So, man, this season is just, it was a struggle to get through at parts. Some parts were really fucking cool, and if I don't go with Malcolm, I'd have to say the only other thing that I can really pinpoint as, like, that didn't let me down, that was awesome, and it lived up to hype that really worked, boxing glove arrow.
That was so cool.
I was like, you did it. You guys are awesome. Oh shit, now you fucked this up and you fucked this up and you fucked this up and you fucked this up, but boxing glove arrow is cool. Like, So let's go around the table one more time here, give you guys some plugs, wrap us up. Sean, anything you want to plug?
I have got a Twitch stream, like I've said, on Friday, 4 p.m. Streaming The Witcher 3. Be there or be square. If you're going to be
Ruby
square,
triangle face.
if you're going to be square or triangle face, then go to youtube.com because it will be on there after I finished.
That's Shaughnessy 1989.
Yep.
Sweet. Sam?
I don't even know what we're doing. What the fuck are we doing now?
Plugs.
Okay. God, this just thinking of Arrow, like, so disappointed.
I was disappointed that you didn't go. I don't understand.
You guys can catch me still writing for fanboysanonymous.com, and I'm finally starting to make some headway with Science 101 on YouTube, so check that out.
Alrighty, guys. All Talk Show is our random bullshit podcast. If you want to listen to that live, you go to megapowersradio.com when we announce that we're going to do a live episode, which we do randomly. And that is notified to you on facebook.com/alltalkshow. But if you can't listen to that live, then you can find it on iTunes, Stitcher, and youtube.com/alltalkshow. And the same is going to apply to everything else that I say, too. We're always on iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube. So if we're wrestling, that's smarkoutmoment.com, and everything's.com/smarkoutmoment. And for Fanboys Anonymous, of course, we've got more podcasts coming your way. We are recording 3 tonight for Review Point. We just did Gotham. We just finished up Arrow here, and we're going to do Flash in a few minutes. All these will be up whenever they're up, as soon as YouTube likes to get them up and everything like that. So if you are obviously an Arrow fan, you probably are a much bigger fan of The Flash. You want to check that out to hear some positive things. But for everything else coming your way from fanboysanonymous.com, the Dace Man Show, and all that other kind of stuff, go to fanboysanonymous.com itself, and YouTube, and all that other kind of stuff. This has been Review Point, episode 12. Make sure that you guys let us know what you think were the hits and misses of Season 3 of Arrow. Leave your comments below. What do you think is going to happen in Season 4? What do you want to see? Any characters that you want to pop up or anything like that? And I think that'll do us in. So thank you for the panel. Thank you for listening, everybody. I'm Tony Mango, and I'm a fanboy. See you next time, everyone.